Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr, and we are ready for Game 2 of the 1930s World Series between the 1931 Philadelphia Athletics and the 1931 St. Louis Cardinals. It's actually a rematch of the 1931 World Series, coincidentally enough. You can take a look, if you head over to baseballmaelstrom.com, you can get a look at the tournament bracket that took place here and how we reached this point. You can see all of those games, a little write-up on each of these games. But we're heading into Game 2 between these two teams. Game 1 was not very exciting for the Cardinals, as it was a 13-1 blowout. Lefty Grove nearly had a shutout. The only thing in between him and that shutout was a Frankie Frisch solo shot in the ninth inning. However, on the other side, the Philadelphia Athletics had their way with Bill Hallahan and the other St. Louis pitchers they faced, scoring 13 runs. Hallahan only lasted into the third inning. And today they will look to continue that, as the Cardinals will look to turn things around. So let's take a look. By the way, it's 51 degrees here at Shibe Park. If we take a look at the park itself, we can say 51 degrees is going to be a -1 to any deep drive shots because of the cold weather. However, there are no it is cloudy, but there's no wind actually. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Athletics. Much like yesterday, lineups are going to be unchanged from that, other than starting pitchers. Leading off, playing third base, will be Sparky Adams. George Watkins will be in right field, batting second. Frankie Frisch playing second base and batting third. Jim Bottomley, the DH, batting fourth. And yes, I am using the DH for both teams. Chick Hafey will be in left field, batting fifth. Pepper Martin batting sixth in center field. Ripper Collins batting seventh, playing first base. Charlie Gelbert is at shortstop, batting eighth. And Jimmy Wilson will be behind the plate, catching and batting ninth for the Cardinals. On the mound for the Cardinals today is Burley Grimes. He is, I believe, 2-2 in the tournament, with an ERA of 4.17, I believe. And he will be facing off against Rube Wahlberg. Wahlberg has actually struggled in the tournament. He's 2-0, however, his ERA is over 6, I believe. So Philadelphia has just outscored their opponents in his wins, I believe. And here's the defense and lineup for the Philadelphia Athletics. Leading off at second base is Max Bishop. Mule Haas in center field, batting second. And we have a little murderer's row here for the Philadelphia. Mickey Cochran catching, batting third. Al Simmons in left field, batting fourth. And Jimmy Fox at first base, batting fifth. Then we have Bing Miller in right field, batting sixth. Jimmy Dykes at third base, batting seventh. Dib Williams playing shortstop, batting eighth. And Eric McNair is DHing today for Philadelphia again. He had a great game yesterday, despite a poor tournament average heading into this World Series. He did hit, I believe, a 2-run homer yesterday. Of course, everybody was pretty much on fire on the offensive side for Philadelphia. All right, so we are ready for the first pitch. Sparky Adams facing off against Rube Wahlberg. 359, and that is going to be a pop-up, or excuse me, a line out to first here. A line out to first base here, and that's out number one. Jimmy Fox snags that one. That brings up George Watkins. Uh, 170. And Watkins will draw a walk here from Wahlberg. First St. Louis base runner of the day and of the game. Watkins is not going anywhere. He did steal some bases, but he is not going anywhere this time. And we now head to Frankie Frisch. 464. That's going to be trouble. Wahlberg is a lefty. And that's a base hit right up the middle. Haas has that one, and Watkins will hold at second. Still one out, and Jim Bottomley steps to the plate. 581, and that's an easy fly ball to Haas for out number 2. Nobody's going anywhere on that one. All right, that brings up Chick Hafey. He is the star of the St. Louis offense here. Even despite going 0 for 4 yesterday, he's hitting .444 in the tournament. 383, and that's exactly why. That's a base hit. And that base hit is going to score the first St. Louis run. So right away, St. Louis on the board here in the first inning. Frisch holds at second. And St. Louis is up 1-0. Pepper Martin steps in with 2 down and 2 runners on. 577, and that's going to score some more runs as that one's a gapper. Simmons couldn't get to it. Rolls to the wall. And Hafey would have the shot of going, but with 2 outs, he does try to go, doesn't he? So he will challenge. Let's cancel out of here for a second. Hafey has a speed of 3. And that was a double with the runner on first having the shot of going, of scoring also. And that was to left field. Simmons' arm is a 5. Challenge 12 plus speed. That's a 15. 10 plus 5 is also 15. And that will score both runners in this case. So Pepper Martin with a stand-up double. And just like that, the Cardinals are up 3-0 here in the first. Ripper Collins steps in. And that's another walk. Wahlberg running into some trouble here in the first inning. Charlie Gilbert steps to the plate. 2 runners on. 509 is going to be a rare play. Potential weather change. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's not going to change the weather, actually. If we look at 7. Sky's cleared up, actually, a little bit. So, no change to the weather. And we are back to Gilbert here. 208. 208 is going to be a 408, and that's going to be another walk. Wahlberg struggling here in the first inning. That brings up the 9th batter of the inning, Jimmy Wilson. 198. That's going to be a bloop single. That's going to score Martin and Collins. And Gilbert's going to take third on the play. Cardinals bat around here in the first. Wahlberg's struggles continue. He is subject to fatigue already as he tries to get out of this inning. 215 will be a 415, and that'll do it as that grounder to Williams, who flips over to Bishop to get out of this inning. 6-4. However, not before the Cardinals show that they have put the last game behind them. But Philadelphia now has a shot. Bottom of the first here, Max Bishop stepping in against Burley Grimes. And he's a righty, 436. And that's going to be a leadoff walk for Bishop. He's not attempting to go anywhere. And Muehlhaus steps in. 294 is going to be a deep right field. 14 minus that 1 is a 13. Deep right field 13 is a fly out to right. Bishop stays put. Mickey Cochran steps to the plate. 468, and that's going to be a double to right with only one out. Bishop is not going anywhere. He holds it third. And just like that, Philadelphia is threatening here in the first themselves. Al Simmons. 196. That's going to be an easy fly out to left. Hafey under it. And it's not deep enough to score Bishop. Jimmy Fox. Last chance for them to do something here. And that's not going to do it. It's towards the gap, but Hafey's able to get there in time. He makes a running grab for out number 3. So Philadelphia's down. No runs, 1 hit in the first inning. Wahlberg faces Watkins here in the second. And that was a wild pitch. No runners on, though. 589. It's going to be a base hit for Watkins to lead off here. Let's see here. Frisch steps in. It's going to be a rough game for Wahlberg, I believe, because that is an error. 567 on Williams. Wahlberg just looking for outs here any way he can get them, and he's not getting help from the defense. Jim Bottomley steps to the plate with 2 runners on. 299, and that's going to be a deep drive to right. 19 for Bottomley, -1 is 18. Deep right, 18. And that is a 3-run homer for Bottomley. Cardinals now up 8-0. And I believe that's going to be it for Wahlberg. Wahlberg only makes it 1 inning. They're going to have to eat some innings here. I believe they will go with Waite Hoyt. Hoyt will come in. So just a flip of yesterday's game. By the way, playing auto manager would not have had me pull him out here, but 8 runs is just crazy, so making the executive decision to pull Wahlberg here. All right, so no outs, no runners on. And the defensive woes continue here, as that's going to be a base hit. Hafey gets on base here to make the 4th straight base runner here in the second. And he will attempt to get a lead, but he won't get one. He does not get a lead. Pepper Martin steps to the plate. 333. And that's going to be a fly out to right. It's a deep fly out, but not deep enough to move the runner up from first here. That brings up Ripper Collins. 133. That's another fly out to right. This one not as deep. And that would have been out number 3, but instead, Gilbert steps in. 248. Gilbert's a righty, and that's a pop-up on the infield to second base. And Hoyt has turned things around here, at least temporarily, for Philadelphia, but not before the Cardinals get 3 more runs. Grimes facing off against Miller here in the second. And he's a righty. That's going to be a base hit. Single up the middle. And Miller rounds first, bringing up Jimmy Dykes. 322, and Dykes will strike out. Grimes' first strikeout of the day. 1 down, Dib Williams steps to the plate. And that's going to be the end of the inning. Frisch, easy grounder. Frisch to Gelbert, over to Collins to complete the double play, 4-6-3. And just like that, Grimes gets out of the second inning. Jimmy Wilson to lead off the third for St. Louis. And that's a little dribbler back to the mound. Hoyt takes it over to Fox for out number 1. Sparky Adams steps in. And same thing, another dribbler to the mound. That's 2 down now in the third, excuse me. George Watkins. 694, that's going to be something. 694 is a triple. Bounces around in the corner. Watkins into third base here. And Philadelphia couldn't quite get out of this inning unscathed. So Frisch steps to the plate. 441, and that is a pop-up to third in foul territory. And Dykes will haul that one in for out number 3. So a scoreless inning for St. Louis. We head to the bottom of the third. Cardinals still up 8-0 here. Grimes facing off against McNair. And that's dribbled to Collins, who will take it to the bag himself for the first out. Max Bishop, top of the order. He walked in his first plate appearance. And this time it's going to be another grounder to first. Collins takes that one. Another easy play for him. Buell Haas. And that's going to be a grounder, but Haas is able to beat the throw. That'll be a single. Keeps the inning alive here as Mickey Cochran steps in. Cochran doubled in his first at-bat. 627 becomes a 637. That's not going to be high enough, I don't believe, and it is not. So a grounder to third here. And Adams will throw over to Collins for out number 3. And 3 scoreless innings now for Philadelphia after a 13-run game yesterday. Hoyt facing off against Bottomley. 403. And Bottomley's going to draw a walk here. A leadoff walk for Bottomley. We'll bring up Hayfie, who's 2 for 2 to make up for his 0 for 4 game yesterday. 647. And that's a grounder to short. Williams will flip to Bishop. They can't quite complete the double play, but they do get the lead runner here. And that brings up Pepper Martin. 400. That's another walk. So a couple of walks here in the fourth. And we have a runner in scoring position now for Ripper Collins, who flew out to right in his last at-bat. This time it's a ground ball. The second, Bishop will flip to Williams, but once again, they can't quite turn the double play here. Hayfie will take third. We have runners on the corners with 2 down for Charlie Gelbert. 185 is probably going to be high enough, and it is. It's a bloop single. That will score Hayfie, and Collins will head to third. And runners on the corners once again, still 2 down. It's the 9th Cardinals run as Jimmy Wilson steps in. That will end the inning as it's another grounder to Williams, who flips to Bishop for the third out, but not before the Cardinals score another run. Hoyt will be subject to fatigue starting in the next inning. And we have Grimes facing off against Simmons in the bottom of the fourth. 640, that's a 650. And that's a grounder to Collins, who will flip to Grimes, covering first for out number one. Jimmy Fox flew out to left in his last at bat. And this time he's going to ground to third. An easy play as Adams throws over to Collins for out number two. Bing Miller, he did single in his last at bat. One of only 3 Philadelphia hits today. And that will be another hit, I believe. 697. Actually, it's a walk. So Miller draws the 2-out walk here. Keeps the inning going. Jimmy Dykes, who struck out in his first at bat. Not going to be so lucky here. Gelbert flips to Frisch, and that will end the inning. Still scoreless for Philadelphia here, heading into the fifth. And Hoyt gets the top of the lineup here, top of the order, Sparky Adams. And Adams will draw a walk here, another leadoff walk. And that gives Hoyt 1 level of fatigue. Adams not going anywhere. George Watkins, he is 2 for 2, tripled in his last at bat. Oh, that's going to be another deep drive, but 0. Deep right, 7 becomes a 6. It's probably still going to be a base hit. Deep right 6 is a bloop single. All right, we have runners on first and second. Frisch steps in, still nobody out. Hoyt has 2 levels of fatigue now. 457. And that is a pop-up to third. Dykes hauls that one in for out number 1. Bottomley, he had that big 3-run homer in the second inning. Walked in his last at bat. 215. Bottomley's a lefty. That's going to be another pop-up to third. This time in foul territory. Dykes hauls that one in for out number 2. Chick Hafey to the plate. 2 for 3 today, 285. That's going to be another deep drive. Deep left field, 10. Minus 1 is 9. Deep left field, 9. And that's another single. Runner on second has the option of challenging, and since there are 2 outs, he will. That's Sparky Adams. As a deep to left, so that's Simmons. 7 plus the speed of Adams is a 9. And he's going to be out here at the plate. So it's a single to Simmons. But Adams is going to be out at home on the relay here. Simmons guns him down at the plate to save a run. And that would be Hoyt's last inning because he has 3 fatigue there. All right, we head to the bottom of the fifth. Grimes facing off against Dib Williams. 601 becomes a 611. And it's a pop-up to second. Frisch hauls it in for an easy out number 1. Philadelphia awfully quiet today as McNair steps in. 225. McNair's a righty. That's going to be a grounder to third. And Adams over to Collins for the second out. Top of the order here, Max Bishop. 375. And that's a ground ball right to Collins, who takes it to the bag himself. 3 up, 3 down here in the 5th. All right, so Hoyt, last 4 innings. It's a good thing they didn't burn through their pitchers yesterday. Let's see here. I think we are going to go with Hank McDonald. Hank McDonald will come into pitch. And he will face Pepper Martin here to lead off the 6th. Ooh boy, 689. It's going to be something. And that's a double. Leadoff double for Martin. That's not what we wanted to see if you're a Philadelphia fan. So, Martin into second. Ripper Collins steps in. 127, and that's an easy fly ball to left. Simmons under it for out number 1. Charlie Gelbert. Gelbert is 1 for 2 today. He had an RBI single in the 4th, and he walked in the 1st. And this is going to get him out of the inning. Oh, no, it's a leadoff double. Williams is going to take this one. Martin's not going to be able to advance, as Williams is over to Fox for out number 2. And Martin stays put, I believe. Yep, 6-4-3, runner on second holds. Okay. So Jimmy Wilson to the plate. Still, Martin's still in scoring position there. 366. That's not going to get it done, though. That's a pop-up to first. Fox under it, and that will be the end of the 6th inning. Okay, Philadelphia, another scoreless inning here. They need to get something going on offense if they want to have a shot in this game. They're still down 9 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Haas coming up to face Grimes. And Collins is able to make a diving stop. And he'll take it to the bag himself. And beats Haas there easily. Mickey Cochran. 456. That's another double for Cochran to right field. It's his second double of the game. He's 2 for 3. And now Philadelphia has a runner in scoring position. And Al Simmons steps in. He's 0 for 2. But he's batting an incredible 500 during this tournament. And that is going to be a grounder to third. Adams over to Collins. And I believe if it's a 5-4-3, a runner on second stays put. So Cochran will stay on second. And Simmons is 0 for 3 this game. Jimmy Fox, he's 0 for 2 so far. 2 down. 496 against a righty, and Fox strikes out. It's only the second strikeout for Grimes today. But it came at a perfect time here as he keeps Philadelphia scoreless through 6. We head to the top of the 7th. Sparky Adams facing off against McDonald here. And that is a grounder back to the mound, and McDonald over to first for out number 1. Watkins, he's had a great day today. 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a triple. He also walked in the first inning. And he's going to get another base hit here. Another single, this time on the infield. They cannot throw him out at first. So Watkins gets on base for the 5th time today. And that brings up Frankie Frisch. 232 becomes a 432, and that's going to end the inning here as it's a Bishop to Williams to Fox double play. To end the 7th. McDonough will be susceptible to fatigue in this next inning. Grimes is a stamina of 7, but he has a shutout going also. So he'll face Miller, Dykes, and Williams here in the 7th. 7th inning stretch. Always a fun time. 4-10, and Miller grounds to short. Gelbert over to Collins for out number 1. Jimmy Dykes, he's 0 for 2. 167. This time he's going to draw a walk. So once again, Philadelphia gets a runner on here. But they do have the bottom of their order coming up here. Dib Williams, he's 0 for 2. He grounded into a double play in the 2nd. 625 becomes a 635. That's not going to be high enough to do anything. And Frisch over to Gelbert, but they cannot complete the double play this time. That'll be out number 2, and Williams is on first now with McNair at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. 643 becomes a 653. And that's a grounder back to the mound. Grimes will flip it over to Collins, and that ends the inning. End of 7. St. Louis still up 9-0 here. McDonald will work against Bottomley. .237. And this time Bottomley pops one up to 3rd. Dykes under it for out number 1. Hafey, he's 3 for 4 today. And we have a rare play. 503. 219 is going to be the rare play here. 503, base is empty. 219 is what we're looking for. Ooh, boy, no play injury. Pitcher suffers a pitching injury. Roll for pitching injury on page 25. Okay, so let's get to the injuries here. We're going to look at games pitched for McDonald. 19. It's not going to be good. We have a plus 35 roll here. Roll all 3 dice, and we're going to add 35. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 46. So 46 on the pitcher injury table. Pitching, 46. Ooh, boy, he is going to be done. That's a torn hamstring for McDonald. That's not only going to end his day, but that's going to end his tournament. All right, McDonald is out. But not before he did a good job here of 2 1/3 inning. And I'm going to just highlight him here. Oops. Donald. I'm going to highlight him so I don't forget he is injured. Torn hamstring. And he's out for 40 days, so he's not coming back. All right, who's coming in now? Well, think it's going to be Lou Krause here for the short short time we need him. I don't believe he even pitched in the tournament. This will be his first appearance. Krause. He had a 4.09 ERA. He only pitched 11 innings, so this is the perfect spot for him here because he's not going to be asked to go very long into this game since we're already in the 8th inning. And Hafey is still in the plate, though, here. 661. It's probably going to be a base hit. It is. It's a bloop single. 4-4-5 for Hafey here. And Pepper Martin comes to the plate. And here we go. Williams with another error. It is his second error of the game. And this is shaping up to be another bad inning here for Philadelphia. Let's see if Krause can get out of this one. Ripper Collins steps in. All right, here we go. 6:03. And that will get him out of the inning. A 4-6-3 double play. Just what he needed here to get out of this one. So, despite the error, no damage done here in the 8th. That takes us to the bottom of the 8th, and Burley Grimes is still cruising. Max Bishop steps in. Pass ball, but that's not going to really matter with nobody on. 271. That's a deep to right field. It'd be a 5 minus 1 is a 4. Deep right field 4 is a single. A leadoff single here for Bishop in the 8th. Which will bring up Haas. He does not get a lead either. They're behind by 9 runs. So Haas will try to do his damage here if he can. 322. He cannot. As a fly out to Hafey there for out number 1. Even though it was deep, Bishop stays put. Mickey Cochran. Cochran is 2 for 3 today. Has 2 of the 5 Philadelphia hits, both of them doubles. 542. And that is going to be an inning-ending double play. Frisch to Gelbert to Collins. 4-6-3. And just like that, we are out of the 8th inning here and into the 9th. Almost a flip of yesterday's game, which ended 13-1. Gelbert steps in against Krause. And that's another out. 601 is a grounder to short. Williams over to Fox for out number 1. Cardinals, even though they've done well today, have not gotten much production out of their bottom of their lineup. Well, I guess Gelbert did drive in 1 run, and Wilson did drive in 2. Wilson just 1 for 4, though, today. 307, and he flies out to right here. And that's the second out. Brings up Sparky Adams. Sparky Adams actually 0 for 4 today, though he did walk in the 5th inning. 299 is going to be a deep left field. Adams with no power. That's going to be a 4. Still a base hit, though. It's a single. So I spoke too soon as Adams gets his first hit of the game. And that brings up Watkins, who is perfect today. Reached base all 5 times. Not this time, though. 609 is going to be a pop-up to second. Bishop under this one, and the inning is over. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. 9-0. 8 of those runs scored in the first 2 innings. And Grimes will go for the shutout here, facing Al Simmons to lead things off. And he walks him. A leadoff walk for Simmons. Brings up Jimmy Fox. 442. And just like that, the walk is erased as Gelbert to Frisch to Collins. 6-4-3. Double play. It's kind of how Philadelphia's game has been going today. Bing Miller steps in. Last chance here for Philadelphia. 148. And Miller flies out to center. Martin under it. And the Cardinals able to avenge their game yesterday and tie the series back up at a game apiece. The series will head to St. Louis for the next 3 games. Grimes with the complete game shutout. Wahlberg, his struggles in the tournament continue in a big way today, as he was responsible for 8 of those 9 runs, though I guess in the end it really didn't matter since Philadelphia could not score. Grimes has to get the MVP of the game. Despite all of this offense, he did hold Philadelphia to no runs on 5 hits after they scored 13 runs yesterday. So, the teams have split big games. And we will head to St. Louis with, let's see who's going to be on the mound. 5, 7, and, okay, so 1 2/3 for Kraus. McDonald's loss. We'll see if they feel that one. Grimes gets 9 innings. And my guess, Paul Derringer will probably, yes, he will pitch in game 3. And he'll face off against George Earnshaw in game 3. So, that ends today's game. The Cardinals, 9 runs on 15 hits and no errors. They committed 4 errors yesterday, no errors today. Philadelphia, no runs on just 5 hits and 2 errors by Dib Williams. 2 of those 5 hits from Mickey Cochran here, 2 doubles, but they just couldn't get anything going. In fact, they grounded into 3 double plays, which erased base runners and ended momentum in those innings. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. As I said before, you can head over to baseballmaelstrom.com to follow the action, if you'd like to follow the action. And I appreciate you watching. And until next time, have a great evening.